And now the verse proceeds to torment's new, fit argument of this the 20th strain of the first song, whose awful theme records the spirits whelmed in woe. Earnest I looked into the depth, that opened to my view, moistened with tears of anguish, and beheld a tribe, that came along the hollow vale, in silence weeping, such their step as walk choirs chanting solemn litanies on earth. As on them more direct mine eye descends, each wondrously seemed to be revered at the neck bone, so that the countenance was from the reins averted, and because none might before him look, they were compelled to advance with backward gait. Thus one perhaps hath been by force of palsy clean transposed, but I ne'er saw it nor believe it so. Now, reader, think within thyself, so God fruit of thy reading give thee. How I long could keep my visage dry, when I beheld near me our form distorted in such guise, that on the hinder parts fallen from the face the tears down streaming rolled. Against a rock I leant and wept, so that my guide exclaimed, What, and art thou too witless as the rest? Here pity most doth show herself alive, when she is dead. What guilt exceedeth his, who with heaven's judgment in his passion strives? Raise up thy head, raise up, and see the man, before whose eyes earth gapped in Thebes, when all cried out, Amphiaraos, whither rushest? Why leavest thou the war? He not the less fell ruining far as to Minas down, whose grapple none eludes. Lo! How he makes the breast his shoulders, and who once too far before him wished to see, now backward looks, and treads reverse his path. Tiresias note, whose semblance shined, when woman he became of male, through every limb transformed, and then once more behoved him with his rod to strike the two entwining serpents, ere the plumes, that marked the better sex, might shoot again. Aruns, with more his belly facing, comes. On Luni's mountains midst the marbles white, where delves Carrara's hind, who wons beneath, a cavern was his dwelling, whence the stars and main sea wide in boundless view he held. The next, whose loosened tresses overspread her bosom, which thou sayest not, for each hair on that side grows, was Manto, she who searched through many regions, and at length her seat fixed in my native land, whence a short space my words detain thy audience. When her sire from life departed, and in servitude this city dedicate to Bacchus mourned, long time she went a wanderer through the world. Aloft in Italy's delightful land a lake there lies, at foot of that proud Alp, that o'er the Tyrol locks Germania in, its name Benicus, which 1,000 rills, methinks, and more, water between the vale Camonica and Garda and the height of Apennine remote. There is a spot at midway of that lake, where he who bears of Trento's flock the pastoral staff, with him of Brescia, and the Veronese, might each passing that way his benediction give. A garrison of goodly sight and strong Pescara stands, to all with front opposed the Bergamese and Brescian, whence the shore more slope each way descends. There, whatsoever Benicus bosom holds not, tumbling o'er down falls, and winds a river flood beneath through the green pastures. Soon as in his course the stream makes head, Benicus then no more they call the name, but Mincius, till at last reaching Gaverno into Pahi falls. Not far his course hath run, when a wide flat it finds, which overstretch him as a marsh it covers, pestilent in summer oft. Hence journeying, the savage maiden saw midst of the fin a territory waste and naked of inhabitants. To shun all human converse, here she with her slaves plying her arts remained, and lived, and left her body tenantless. Thenceforth the tribes, who round were scattered, gathering to that place assembled, for its strength was great, enclosed on all parts by the fin. On those dead bones they reared themselves a city, for her sake, calling it Mantua, who first chose the spot, nor asked another Roman for the name, wherein more numerous the people dwelt, ere Cassilotes' madness by deceit was wronged of Pinamonti. If thou hear henceforth another origin a sign of that my country, I forewarn thee now, that falsehood none beguile thee of the truth. I answered, Teacher, I conclude thy words so certain, that all else shall be to me as embers lacking life. But now of these, who here proceed, instruct me, if thou see any that merit more especial note. For thereon is my mind alone intent. He straight replied, that spirit, from whose cheek the beard sweeps o'er his shoulders brown, what time Graecia was emptied of her males, that scarce the cradles were supplied, the seer was he in Aulis, who with Calchas gave the sign when first to cut the cable. Him they nomed Eurypylus, so sings my tragic strain, in which majestic measure well thou know'st, who know'st it all. That other, round the loins so slender of his shape, was Michael Scott, practised in every sleight of magic wile. Guido Bonatti a stent mark, who now were willing, he attended still the thread in cordwain, and too late repents. See next the wretches, who the needle left, the shuttle and the spindle, and became diviners, baneful witcheries they wrought with images and herbs. But onward now, for now doth Cain with fork of thorns confine on either hemisphere, touching the wave beneath the towers of Seville. Yesternight the moon was round. Thou mayst remember well, for she good service did thee in the gloom of the deep wood. This said, both onward moved.